This is a hot take from the Small Business Cybersecurity Guide.
167 vulnerabilities. 2 0 days, one of them already in active use against real targets before any patch existed. And a security deadline that Microsoft set in motion 15 years ago is now 72 days away. It's Wednesday, the 15th of April 2026. This is your Patch Tuesday breakdown. I'm Graham Falkner, and if you run Windows in your business, what happened yesterday needs your attention this morning. Microsoft's April security release landed yesterday. 167 vulnerabilities patched, 8 rated critical. 7 of those 8 are remote code execution flaws. The 8th is a denial of service. For context, this is the second largest Patch Tuesday release on record. The only month that surpassed it was October 2025. Regular listeners will recall that January opened 2026 with 112 CVEs and 3 actively exploited 0 days. February brought 6 exploited 0 days in a single month. March was smaller in number but larger in chaos, with pooled patches, installation failures and emergency out-of-band releases. April brings the volume back up. That pattern matters. We will come back to it. CVE 2026 32201, Microsoft SharePoint Server. This is the one being exploited against real targets right now. The CVSS score is 6.5. Security engineers this week have already said that score is misleading. This is a spoofing vulnerability, rooted in an input validation failure. An attacker injects malicious scripts through improperly sanitized input fields in SharePoint. From there, the path leads to cross-site scripting, session hijacking, and in the right conditions, phishing redirects, or a broader campaign including ransomware delivery. Here is the part that matters for your business. No authentication required. No special privileges needed. An external attacker can reach an internet-facing SharePoint instance directly. If your organization runs SharePoint on-premises and that server has any exposure to the public internet, you are the target audience for this exploit today. Microsoft's advisory confirms exploitation is already occurring. If you cannot patch right now, the interim steps are: audit your SharePoint exposure, review your content security policies, and watch authentication logs for anything unexpected. Users reporting strange redirects or unusual login prompts when accessing SharePoint pages is a warning sign worth taking seriously. CVE 2026 33825, Microsoft Defender. This one has not yet been used in attacks. It has, though, been publicly available since the 3rd of April. A researcher operating under the name Chaotic Eclipse published proof of concept code to GitHub under the title Bluehammer. The researcher raised concerns about how Microsoft handled the disclosure process before a patch was ready. This is an elevation of privilege vulnerability. CVSS score 7.8. Successful exploitation gives an attacker system-level access on the affected machine. Microsoft acknowledged the public disclosure. Their advisory does not mention Bluehammer by name. The patch is now available. The exploit code is also available to anyone who wants it. If you have not deployed today's update by end of business today, you are running a machine with a known privilege escalation exploit published and accessible on GitHub. CVE 2026 33824, Windows Internet Key Exchange Service, IKEV2. CVSS score 9.8, critical. An unauthenticated attacker sends crafted packets to any target with IKE version 2 enabled. The result is remote code execution. No credentials, no prior access to the network, nothing required except connectivity to the target machine. Microsoft has published interim mitigations for organizations where patching cannot happen immediately. Firewall rules blocking UDP ports 500 and 4500 will reduce the exposure. That is the stopgap. The patch is the answer. Running beneath all of this sits a deadline that deserves more attention than the 0 days. The Secure Boot certificates Microsoft issued in 2011 expire on the 26th of June 2026, 72 days from today. This month's update includes changes to how Windows handles the rollout of replacement certificates, using a phased approach. There are also new status indicators now appearing inside the Windows Security app, and there is a fix for an issue that was pushing some devices into BitLocker recovery after receiving previous Secure Boot updates. That bug is now resolved. After expiration, any system without updated certificates loses protection against bootkit malware, including Black Lotus, and stops trusting third-party software signed with newer certificates. The machine will still boot. It will simply be considerably more exposed than it was. If you have not yet looked at this, April is the month to start. Any Patch Tuesday rarely involves Microsoft alone. Fortinet has pushed patches for multiple products. The one to flag is CVE 2026-35616, a critical vulnerability in FortiClient Enterprise Management Server that is being actively exploited right now. If FortiClient runs in your environment, this sits alongside the SharePoint 0 Day as an immediate priority. SAP has released its April Security Bundle, which includes a critical SQL injection vulnerability in SAP Business Planning and Consolidation and SAP Business Warehouse. If you run SAP in your organisation, this week's briefing from your IT team should include this. Google has fixed a 0 day in Chrome. Android's April Security Bulletin is live. The Wolf SSL TLS library has patched a flaw that could allow a target device to accept forged certificates. Any development or systems team using that library in their applications needs to check this today. This is the 4th Patch Tuesday of 2026. The line connecting these months is now impossible to ignore. In December, we covered a 57 CVE release and a single actively exploited 0 day. January escalated to 112. February delivered 6 exploited 0 days in a month, a figure that has not been seen before in a single Patch Tuesday. March was smaller, but the chaos around update quality eroded confidence in the process. April brings 167. Attackers are moving faster than the calendar. One of this month's 2 0 days was in active use against targets before most organisations had finished deploying March's fixes. Faster patching helps, though faster patching alone is not enough. The answer is a tested process, a named person, and a clear record that the work has been done. We have covered what that structure looks like in earlier episodes this year. Links are in the show notes. Run Windows Update. Deploy the cumulative update for your version of Windows. For Windows 11 versions 24H2 and 25H2, that is KB5083769. For Windows 10 on extended support, that is KB5082200. If you run SharePoint on premises, that is the first job this morning. If you run FortiClient, that is the second. Check your Secure Boot status before the end of April. June 26th is not a theoretical date. It is 11 weeks away. This episode was recorded on the 15th of April 2026, based on information available at the time of recording. Patch details and vendor guidance may be updated by vendors after publication. The information in this episode is for educational purposes and should not be treated as security advice specific to your organisation. Consult a qualified security professional before making changes to your security configuration. The Small Business Cyber Security Guy podcast and its contributors are not liable for any actions taken based on the information provided here.
This is a hot take from the small